To all seekers, it is important to recognize, really important to recognize that if there are any expectations, if you are expecting to experience a similar story to another who has shared their profound and most ultimate experience, then you need to drop these ideas. Because whatever comes, if it's similar, if it's recognizable, if it's identifiable through a name, through an image, through a preconceived past thought, an imagination, a fantasy, our true experience, a real physical form experience from days gone by. If it's a conditioned learning, if it's an inherited image, an inherited word, an inherited feeling, then it's not true. It cannot be true. Whatever it is that you're looking for will not be what the mind expects it to be. The mind will in fact actually not get to grips with it. It will not understand it fully. It will not be able to share it for at least 5 to 7 years. And when it tries to share it, it's old, it's stale, and it's limited as a human mind. You have no idea what you're going into. But what you're going into is something deep and profound about yourself. It's not about this world. It's not about stories and religion and spirituality. It's not about science and evolution of mankind. It's not about the universe as such. It is something far more intricate, far more subtle, far more wonderful, new. If you're seeking for something that is going to say, yeah, I'm very much like you now. Now we can all become one. Your mind is not in a deluded state, but in a state of fear. I don't want to drop everything. I don't want to let everything go. But you have to drop everything and let everything go for this to take place. And once this takes place, everything that you dropped and let go will resurface in its own way, in a new way, in a more contented way, a less fearsome way, a beautiful, profound, and what else to do, you know? What else to achieve in this world? Because what one has experienced is something that is beyond that can be achieved by a mind, or a human mind, a limited, egoistic mind. Even in the mind in its purest state stops in amazement at itself. It stops in shock of what it truly overall could be and is and was and will be. There's no definition between past and future when you see this. There's no definition between man and woman, God and Satan. There's no definition between good and bad, love and hate. There's no definition. It is beyond defining. Your expectations have to be dropped, and everything that comes, dropped. I didn't follow other saints, other gurus. I stumbled upon this, but when you now are able to go and seek some sort of jovial, similar, but not similar experiences, just a portrayal of how others have, in their journey, have experienced this extreme himself. You see, the Ramana Maharshi method is probably the most beneficial for most who seek. Nati nati, deny all that comes. Deny the thoughts. Deny the mind that says, look, look, look. Look at the light. Look at the light. It's God. It's God. No, not that. Not this. Not anything that comes. The idea is to wait, and whatever comes, let it pass. Whatever comes, let it pass. Profound joy, Sat, Chit, Ananda, let it pass. Complete, euphoric, nirvana enlightenment, let it pass. Not this. Not this is not saying, I don't want that, I don't want that, I want this. I prefer that, I prefer this. No, I'm making the decision. There's no you. There's just whatever the space that you are. You know that you can't keep it. You know that you can't keep this body. You know that you can't keep your mind. You know that you can't keep your same job, your same moment of breath. You know that you can't keep anything. So what is it that you want to keep from the most ultimate experience? Let it pass. You're not saying, I'm in control. I'm just grateful that I waited patiently with no expectations, with no mind, with no wants, with no desires. Just a desire to let everything come as in its own way, in its own form, in its own light, in its own energy, in its own substance. Just to allow it to come forward to whatever this space I am gets a glimpse of it, gets a feeling of it, gets a sensory connection to it, and then it can pass through me. It can pass through me, whatever one is. Nati nati, thank you, not this. But so grateful you came. Wenji had a great video about what would you do if you met God? Have a cup of tea? I always wanted to meet you. And God says, so what next? Oh, well, you can go. Thank you. I shall pass. Truth is in that what is stable but not form. That is oneself. Stable but no boundaries, no limitations. With a mind that is limited to understand what it sees through a memory system, through a conditioned inherited system. But what if this thing comes that mind has never ever been discussed before by another being, by another book, by another religion? It doesn't come as what the mind can make something definable about it. It just let it pass. It is in the passing that life is truly met. It is not in the associating. It's not in the attaching. It's not in the desiring. It's not in the wanting. It's in the passing, where everything comes through this thing that I call me. I. Seeking is not defined a definition. It's not defined an experience. It's not defined as something. It's not defined as nothing. It's just to be present and allow that what comes to make its presence. And then when it chooses to pass, oh yes, you can pass. You don't say, oh no, I'm going to lose that light. I'm going to lose that enlightenment. I'm going to lose that angel. I'm going to lose that God. I'm going to lose that spirit. I'm going to lose that beautiful moment. You are the moment that everything passes through. You are the infinite, holy moment where everything is passing through. Even your body is passing through you. Who can you be? What can you be? Can you discover? Is it that what is passing that you're discovering? Or is that what is experiencing the passing that is discovering? Or is that what is witnessing, observing, tasting, touching, feeling, seeing, smelling? Is it that? Are you something that can say, I saw it, I touched it, I held it, I smelled it? I am the sensation of the passing. Without the passing, there is no me sensorizing anything in this world. Who am I? What am I? Am I looking for the God? Or am I looking at what God passes through? Am I superior to God? That's an absolute statement of a mind that sees division. And that mind has to be passed, has to be allowed to pass. Allow the thoughts to pass. Watch them go. Be grateful. Even the nasty, dirty little buggers. Let them go. Look for the space between the thoughts. Look for the space between the breath. Look for the space between that what mind says is divisive. Look for the space between the opposites. Look for the space within I. Is there a space within I? What is I? Are you I? Is I a numerical, towering, singular noun? Is it a number? So if it is, what is in the center of this I? Is it an I, like this I? What is in the center of this I? Is it an I, this body? What is in the center of this I? What is in the core of this I? Where does this I grow from? Where does this I see from? Can this I be seen? From where is this I looking, and as what is this I looking as? Who the hell is I? No expectations. Not even experience. Just passing. Everything is passing. Is I passing? And when I passes, what remains in the center? What remains in the core? What remains pure? Can that pass? Where is it? How far does it stretch? Does it have boundaries? And all these questions have to be allowed to pass. What is beyond consciousness? What is beyond nothing? What is beyond God, Brahman, Absolute? These are names, identities. These things exist as the truth, but with a pathetic name to identify something that all passes through. Are you separate from that what passes through? Are you the passing? Are you the past? Are you the dead? Or are you the life that continually evolves within itself, breathing as if it's God every moment, every day, every same breath, a breath of God, a breath of I. let the breath pass. And when it does, dive in. Namaste.